We take it for granted because we've had it for so long. You know, 1.6 million Americans died to either achieve liberty in the Revolutionary War here in the United States, or to extend liberty to those people that lived here that didn't have it during the Civil War, or to restore liberty to countries that had lost it in World War I and World War II, or defending liberty in Korea and Vietnam and other places around the world. You know, America was all about liberty. That was the whole idea here. I mean, the 56 people that signed our Declaration of Independence, when they wrote at the bottom, we pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. They didn't use the term fortunes figuratively. I mean, Alexander Hamilton was the Bill Gates of his day, arguably the richest man in America. Thomas Jefferson had two 5,000-acre plantations. You know, you can still go look at his home at Monticello there at Charlottesville, Virginia. George Washington's home, Mount Vernon, is still on the banks of the Potomac. These were people that had something to lose. Revolutions are not started by people that have something to lose. They're started by people that don't have anything to lose. The Bolsheviks had nothing to lose. And they're not fought over liberty, folks. I mean, every time the president throws us in with the other democracies of the world, I sometimes want to, we are not one of the other democracies of the world. You know, and our revolution was not like any of the other revolutions. I mean, think about that. At the end of the Revolutionary War, King George said of George Washington, if he voluntarily gives up power, he's the greatest man in the world. And he did it twice, not just once. His soldiers said they would make him king. And he said, if you speak of it again, I'll have you court-martialed and hung. He presented his sword to the Continental Congress, and he said, like Cincinnatus, I'm going home to sit under my fig and ban. And back to Mount Vernon he went. They called him out for the Constitutional Convention, which he really didn't want to attend, and afterwards convinced him he had to be our first president. And after his first term, convinced him he had to run for re-election, and at the end of the second term, they said, you have to run again. He said, no. No one should serve more than 2 terms as President of the United States. And he went home again. So, I mean, Mao Zedong didn't fight a revolution in China to bring liberty to the Chinese people. He fought a revolution to obtain power and retain power for himself, and he kept it till he died. Stalin and Lenin didn't carry on a revolution in Russia to bring liberty to the Russian people. And I only tell you this because we get so caught up in what's going on right now that we sometimes, you know, miss the big things, what's really important here. I had a driver when Hillary Care was rolled out in the nannies. He said, you know, he said, that sounded like a good idea. He said, I'm sure a lot of people could use that. We were just standing around the garage talking. And I said, we furnished health care for our employees at the time. So he didn't need it. He just thought it was good for somebody else. And I told him there was 2 places I was confident he could find a lion if he was to ask me today. I said, one would be in the African country of Kenya. If you go out to Serengeti and you look around long enough, you'll find one. Or you can just drive across the river here to the Louisville Zoo. Now, the zoo lion doesn't have to worry about being food or finding food. The zookeeper comes along and throws the food in there 3 or 4 times a day, and he's got water, he's got shelter, and if he gets the sniffles, he's got health care. All he had to give up to get all that was his liberty. As Americans, we are building this cage 1 bar at a time. And we're not going to notice till the door slams shut.